So, you think you know what's going on with Iran, right? We've all been told it's a pretty straightforward fight. Iran versus America, Iran versus Israel. Just a two-sided conflict. Well, let's dive into that, because that's not even close to the full story.
What if I told you the story we're all hearing is missing some major players? What if this battlefield is way more crowded than anyone's letting on?
The thing is, according to United States intelligence officials, that's exactly what's happening. We're not talking about two sides, we're talking about five. And get this, two of them are nuclear-armed superpowers, quietly pulling the strings from the shadows.
So how did this all come out? Well, you have to rewind to February 28th, 2026. The US and Israel kick off this massive airstrike campaign, Operation Epic Fury. And almost right away, Iran hits back. But here's the crazy part. Their drones, their missiles, they're hitting targets with this weird, almost impossible precision. And then, bam, March 6th, a leak hits, and we finally understand why.
So the first bombshell, it pointed straight at Moscow. We've got to talk about Russia's role here, acting as Iran's eyes in the sky.
And this was the question driving Western intelligence analysts completely nuts. I mean, how is this happening? How could a nation with a military that's been pretty isolated, with kind of limited tech, how were they landing these incredibly effective punches on some of the most advanced military assets in the world?
And this right here lays out the problem and the answer perfectly. Look, Iran simply does not have the kind of satellite network you need to track something like a US warship that's constantly on the move in open water. They just can't do it. But you know who can? Russia. Intelligence reports are saying Moscow is basically feeding Iran the exact coordinates of American military hardware, completely plugging that huge intelligence gap for them.
And this isn't just about data on a screen. This has a real and tragic human cost.
An Iranian drone, and it's believed it was guided by those Russian-supplied coordinates, hit a facility in Kuwait. 6 American service members were killed. So let's be crystal clear. This isn't some theoretical partnership. It has absolutely lethal consequences.
And when the Kremlin got asked about it point blank, what did they say? The official spokesman simply refrained from comment. You know, in the high-stakes game of international diplomacy, that kind of non-denial, it's basically an admission. It speaks volumes.
But don't mistake this for some kind of deep friendship. For Moscow, this is all about cold, hard, calculated geopolitics. Think about it. The US has been giving Ukraine intel to hit Russian targets, so what's Russia doing? They're just returning the favor. They're using intelligence like a weapon, and it's revenge. Plain and simple. Paid for with American lives.
Okay, so that's Russia, but now let's bring in the second hidden player, because this is where it gets even more interesting. If Russia's eyes, then you could say China is its backbone. Their role is quieter, yeah, more systemic, but honestly, maybe even more important. To really get what China is bringing to the table, you have to wrap your head around electronic warfare. It's not about bullets and bombs, it's a war fought with signals, with frequencies, with data. It's all about blinding your enemy while making damn sure you can still see. Just think about this for a second. The entire US military, I mean everything, runs on GPS. It's a system America built and America controls. Well, China has been methodically helping Iran switch its entire military over to their system, called Beidou 3. And this thing is encrypted. The US can't jam it, they can't feed it false signals, that's what spoofing is, and they absolutely cannot shut it down. China has basically performed surgery, removing a core piece of American technological power and just replacing it with their own.
For decades, what's been America's biggest military ace in the hole? Stealth, right? Aircraft like the F-35, the B-21 Raider, they cost billions and billions to design, all to be invisible to enemy radar.
And now, that advantage has been seriously degraded. China has given Iran its YLC-8B anti-stealth radar. This thing uses low-frequency waves that are way better at spotting those radar-absorbent coatings on US jets. So a decades-long, multi-billion-dollar advantage, poof, those invisible planes are suddenly visible. And it's not just radar and navigation, not by a long shot. Intel confirms China is also shipping, or getting ready to ship, a whole menu of things. Offensive drones, anti-ship cruise missiles, and even the nitty-gritty stuff, like critical components for solid rocket fuel, stuff like sodium perchloride, coming directly from Chinese ports.
This isn't just selling some tech, it's a direct supply line fueling Iran's war machine.
Okay, so now let's put the pieces together. You take Russia's real-time intelligence, you add China's foundational technology, and what do you get? You see the beginning of a totally new way to fight a war. A new architecture of warfare, designed from the ground up specifically to go head-to-head with American military power.
And this breaks it down perfectly. It's a brand new three-step kill chain. Step 1, Russia provides the where, the real-time coordinates. Step 2, China provides the how, the advanced radar, the unjammable navigation, the hardware, the fuel. And step 3, Iran just pulls the trigger.
And here's the thing you really need to understand. This is not a proxy war like we've seen in the past. There are no Russian or Chinese troops on the ground. This war is being fought with satellite feeds, with radar beams, with encrypted coordinates. The real battlefield here? It's the electromagnetic spectrum itself. It's a place where data is ammunition and signals are the weapons.
So what has the official US response been to this new reality? When the defense secretary was asked directly about Russia helping Iran kill American soldiers, his answer was, "We're tracking everything." That's it. Not a threat, not an ultimatum. It's this surprisingly passive statement, which really hints at the huge strategic problem they're facing. I mean, how do you hit back at two nuclear powers without accidentally starting World War III?
And that forces us to zoom all the way out and ask what this really means. Because this is so much bigger than just Iran or regional stability. The stakes here, they're about the future of global power, period.
What we're all watching right now is a live stress test of a new global power structure. For years, we've heard Russia and China talk about a multipolar world, a world not dominated by the United States. Well, with Iran, it seems they've decided to stop talking and quietly put that theory into action. And for them, it absolutely cannot be allowed to fail.
And this is why they're so invested. Think it through. If the US just rolls over Iran without any real consequences, it basically proves that their whole multipolar world idea is just a fantasy. It would create this massive credibility problem for them. It tells any potential partners in Asia, Africa, South America that when the chips are down, Washington is the only one with real power. For their own strategic survival, they have to make sure Iran can hold its own.
Which brings us to the final and, frankly, pretty unsettling question. The intelligence is there. The support is happening. The involvement is undeniable. These superpowers aren't just sending a few weapons. They are weaving their own advanced military systems directly into Iran's. So the only question that really matters now is, how much further are they willing to go to force this new world order into being? And right now, nobody has a confident answer to that.